Although they mated sporadically throughout the fall, that picked up a lot in November and December. They would sometimes start out in the nest, and then one would fly off, then the other would fly off to meet the first one in one of their nearby trees. This is an overlooked tree that they favored. And here the male is talking to the female. The female's on the left. As you look at this, she looks back at him, and then she will turn around and face east. This particular scene occurred in the morning, just after sunrise. The male mounts the female, and you'll notice that she remains very steady. He is flapping his wings, and he is crying out as he does this, but it's my observation that he does not dig his claws into her or harm her. Now I'm going to show another series of mating in the evening. There's one eagle resting in the tree. The other one leaves the nest, flies over to the tree. I believe this is the same tree. I love that picture there. And lands. In this case, the male is on the left. The female leans forward. I like this because it's into the sun. The eagles are facing west towards sunset. And I believe this occurred in December. Again, there's a lot of flapping, but I think that's done mainly for balance. It does not appear to me that he harms the female or digs his claws into her. And then he dismounts, and once again, there they are in a relaxed mode. I used two cameras for this next clip. One pointed at the nest and one pointed at the large tree where they had been mating quite a bit in November, December, and January. This is a movie with sound. The eagle's behavior had started to change in January, and by early February I really knew that something was going on, because one of them was sitting in the nest almost all the time, and one of them was right at the nest, certainly, if not sitting down. So I figured there was an egg. And here you can see the adult tending to something. This is now around February 10th. And the eagle was being brought food. You can see here the fish being carried. I want to repeat this segment because of you can hear the flapping of the wings if you listen closely. This picture was taken probably 2 or 3 nights before I first saw the baby. Again, the adult is very attentive, and this picture was taken the night before. The morning that I first saw the baby was gorgeous. It was just a perfect morning. And sure enough, the adult flies in with food. And I'm watching this. I've got the camera fortunately on a tripod. And there I see the head of the baby. It was very exciting. I'm certainly glad I had a tripod, or I would have moved all over the place. Here the adult moves the fish and then feeds the baby. I'm shooting from over 300 feet away at dawn. The sun is just coming up, so the video quality is not perfect, but you can certainly see what's going on, and you can see the great care that the mother's taking in feeding the baby. Then the baby, as most babies do, rests, and the mother is very close, if not keeping the baby warm, because this is mid-February and the mornings are cool. And here you can see the mother tending to the baby, which is down deep inside the nest. Later that morning, I was able to capture some photographs of another feeding process. Here's the eagle bringing food. These pictures are fairly self-explanatory. And then there was some excitement when the second parent came into the nest. I feel really fortunate to have gotten these photographs. It's later in the morning, it's brighter, and it was just perfect. And here the adult leaves, the one adult leaves the nest to go hunting, the baby's watching the adult leave. The next morning, the mother flew in with a stick, indicative of the fact that the eagles were caring for the nest at the same time they were feeding the baby. So there was a lot of activity going on. And here you can see the mother getting food ready. There had been food in the nest, and the mother starts feeding the baby. But it was interesting that they were tending to the nest very diligently. Here's another shot a little bit later, and the second eagle flies in. And basically this scene was repeated time and again throughout the early days. You can see the other adult doesn't stay very long, and the mother continues feeding the baby. And then a couple hours later, the other adult flies in with more food. Here's a scene that was repeated quite a few times, especially in the early development of the baby eagle. The mother is in the nest waiting for food and cries out for its mate. And this would go on off and on, sometimes all day and into the evening. The baby was ravenous and was in constant need of food, basically. And here the mother looks around and takes matters into her own hands. She's going to go out and find some food. She flies back in with a fish. And then she feeds the baby. I liked the morning sunlight with her flying in with a fish, so here are some frame shots. The mother eagle did not always have to go out alone looking for food. Often there was teamwork. Here she's very excited that the male brought a fish in. This is in the morning when the baby's about 10 days old. You can see the mother moves the fish around, and now she's starting to pick at the fish. And there's the baby's head. The baby's up, hungry, and excited, and the mother is happy to feed the baby. Then the male will observe for a while and then take off.